So we're actually going to a live GLE that's in the showroom right now. We're kind of in luck today because these have been hard to get your hands on. We've and Scott can chime in on a little bit too. We've been kind of pre-ordering and kind of putting like the reservations now on a lot of our brand new Mercedes, including the GLE. It's one of our best sellers. And we kind of lucked out with a little bit of a bonus one from Mercedes. So fortunately, we have one on the showroom here today to show you. It's kind of like our larger midsize, again, kind of right in the middle of the Mercedes lineup when it comes to sport utility sizing. And we're going to kind of take you through it a little bit here. Since we've, at the moment, lost Scott, I guess I'll start going over it a little bit.
Am I here? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We just lost the picture.
Well, here, Anthony, I'll help you out. We'll get started.
Problem.
One of the things that sets this GLE 350 apart from some of the others is this one has the AMG Sportline Package. You can see by its muscular good looks, AMG style wheels, it's a GLE 350 that looks like it's been working out a little bit. It has a much more muscular and commanding presence going down the road.
Was recently redesigned just a couple of years ago, 2020. They fully redesigned the GLE and GLS, made them quite a bit longer. Actually, where most of that space is coming in is in the back. So if you look at the rear door, you'll notice a really, really expansive back seat, a lot of space in the back, 4.5 inches longer from the last gen. So the vehicle continues to get a little bit longer, but also a little bit lighter, using a lot more aluminum, using better types of materials. It's a lot more road ready, a lot more flexible. One of the big things I always like to touch on about that when it comes to weight and handling with Mercedes SUVs is these are essentially like car platforms when it comes to how it rides and how it drives. There's a lot of big luxury SUVs out there on the road today that drive very truck-like, and that's not the case with these. The GLE, the GLS, these drive very, very car-like. So if you're looking to maybe make that migration from a car to a sport utility, a little bit of an easier adjustment, I think, whenever you're talking about vehicles like the GLE.
And when you talk about drivability, one thing to keep in mind too, all LED lighting all the way around. So at nighttime, it lights up the road very, very effectively. Even those tail lamps that we're looking at right now are LED, so they actually project the red light behind you much further so that the people behind you can actually see you much more effectively. So it's a safety aspect, and it's also a good looks aspect too. If you look at the grille on this car, that has the diamonds in it because that one does have the AMG Sportline Package. It is a much sharper look for the car. And like Anthony was talking about, the way it's designed, it's built just like we would a car. It's a unit body construction, so it's going to hold the road much more comfortably, and you can actually throw that car into a curve at 65, 70 miles an hour without having to hit the brakes like you normally would have to in more of a truck framed SUV, because it's designed to handle the road, and you would drive it just like you would drive a sports car.
I'll say welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
We can see you now.
There we go. Now we can see how big that back seat is. One of the comments on the previous body GLE before 2020 was the back seat was too small. So they, like Anthony touched on, actually made that back seat 4 inches longer in the door to give you so much more space back there. A large premium SUV should be comfortable and people shouldn't feel cramped. So that's what we did for you there. Also, you can see all the USB ports throughout. The car has the standard MBUX intelligent interface. So using the technology in the car is very easy. You just need to know 2 words. Those words are, "Hey, Mercedes." And from there, you can pretty much ask the car to do anything that you want it to do. It does have the touch screen as well, and you can pinch it just like you would one, say, on your phone. It's very easy to use, and it's very familiar to you. So very intuitive, simple to use, and most of our customers absolutely love it because it's so simple and so user-friendly.
It's definitely one of the biggest things evolving, I think, with the Mercedes-Benz brand is the customer-facing tech. Our brand was always really, really known for a lot of the technology that you really don't see. A lot of the engineering, a lot of the safety technology, a lot of the just the build quality and the way that the vehicles are kind of almost over-engineered. And now what you're really, really starting to see from the brand in recent years, I think like probably in particular in the last like 5 to 7 years, is the fact that the customer-facing tech has just grown leaps and bounds when it comes to the amount of capability now that you can control different features. so many different like features on the vehicle itself with the new operating system. And one of the really cool things too, and Scott touched on it a little bit, is the number of ways you can operate all the new interfaces with Mercedes-Benz. I know I have a lot of clients maybe making the switch to Mercedes-Benz, and one of the first things I always get asked is, well, I see there's a control in the center, I see there's a control on the screen, I see there's controls on the wheel. And that was intentional. The idea is you can find what's most comfortable for you and operate the car with that. So if it's most comfortable for you to never take your hands off the wheel, you can quite literally do that on a Mercedes and feel safer and feel like you have full control. If it's better for you to use voice control, the way Scott mentioned, that's something where if you're not maybe as techie about touching things, you can just talk to the car, which is pretty cool. You can jump on the touch screen itself, which I know is becoming popular on a lot of models. You have the touch pad, which feels kind of like your smartphone would. So they really made it to where I think a lot of different users, whether they've had Mercedes or maybe never had a Mercedes, maybe coming from an older car, newer car, whatever, can get into a lot of our newer vehicles and find pretty quick that it's not really that hard to work. So it's surprisingly functional, and I think surprisingly easy for how complex it may look on the surface when it actually comes to all the different ways that you can control the capabilities of the car.
Mm-hmm. So whatever's easiest for you, they have a way that you can do it that way.
Yep.
That screen is just massive in the front, or the dash, I guess.
The customer response from that screen has been overwhelmingly positive. It is nice and long. It fills up the entire dash, and it's a very clean, but at the same time, practical and usable look to it. So it's very attractive, and people really seem to gravitate towards it. You can reach with your right hand, reach up there if you want to and touch it, and the controls in front of you are completely programmable. So you can select the information that you want to see. It doesn't just have to be speedometer and tach, and that's it. You can program it to show you fuel economy. You can control the radio stations from that side. You can even have your nav instructions right there in front of you, so you don't even need to do the quick glance to your right. It's all right there and at your fingertips. The response has just been overwhelmingly positive from that particular dash design. People love it.
Awesome. So everyone that just might now be chiming in, just a reminder, if you have any questions, please leave them all throughout the live. Anthony and Scott can answer them in real time. Before we move on to another vehicle, was there anything else that you guys wanted to say about the GLE 350?
Although we don't have one sitting here, at least at the moment, in the showroom to show off the GLS vehicle that we make as well, there's actually a lot of similarities. So if it's a vehicle that you're also considering is something with a standard third row, so it is optional now on the GLE. The particular one that we have sitting here does not have the third row option, but it is available. We do, of course, offer the GLS as well, which gives you a little bit of additional length in the back and a standard third row. They offer it in a 6-seat or 7-seat configuration, and from a design standpoint and a lot of the tech, it's very similar style of vehicle. So again, if you're considering a GLS, you're seeing a lot of it in the GLE.
And one other thing to note too, later in the program, we're going to talk more about availability and acquisition. So this particular car we're looking at is available right now, and it's moderately priced. I happen to have the build sheet here too. It looks fantastic. It has all the most popular equipment, and it's only $64,795. So it's not overly built, and it still has that sharp look. So this particular car is available right now.